Welcome students. In this video, we learn about one of the important organ systems in our body is that excretory system. The metabolic waste are removed by the process called excretion. If the waste products are accumulated and not eliminated, they become harmful and poisonous to the body. So that naturally, human excretory system is designed. The excretion plays a vital role in maintaining the homeostatic condition of the body. The excretory system includes some organs which are helpful to maintain homeostasis. They are skin, lungs, liver, and kidneys. Skin is the outermost covering as well as the largest organ of the body, which comprises 15% of the body mass. It includes sweat glands and oil glands. If the environmental temperature increases, the sweat glands start secreting sweat, which contains water, ammonia, urea, lactic acids, and salts. The sweat passes through the pores in the skin. Lungs eliminate carbon dioxide through exhalation by the nostrils. Liver eliminates bile pigments through the intestines in fecus. Liver converts ammonia to urea, which is removed from blood by the kidneys. Kidneys regulate bone mineral metabolism. Kidneys maintain fluid and electrolytes in our body. Kidneys regulate acid-base balance of the blood. It maintains the osmotic pressure in blood and tissues. Kidneys also help to retain the important plasma constituents like glucose and amino acids. Now we'll see about the structure of the kidney. The medulla consists of multitubular conical masses called the medullary pyramids or renal pyramids, whose bases are adjacent to cortex. On the inner concave side of each kidney, a notch called hilum is present, through which the blood vessels and nerves enter in and the urine leaves out. The ureters are thin muscular tubes emerging out from the hilum. Urine enters the ureter from the renal pelvis and is conducted along the ureter by peristaltic movement. Peristaltic movement is a rhythmic contraction and the relaxation of the muscle. The ureters carry by the peristaltic movement urine from kidney to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is a sac-like structure which lies in the pelvic cavity of the abdomen. It stores urine temporarily. Urethra is a membranous tube which conducts urine to the exterior, to the outside. The urethral sphincters keep the urethra closed and open only at the time of micturition. It is otherwise known as urination. Now we'll see about the structure of nephron. Each kidney consists of more than 1 million nephrons. Nephrons are the structural and functional unit of the kidneys. Each nephron consists of renal corpuscle and renal tubule. The word renal connected to the kidney. Already we saw renal pyramids. That means the medullary pyramids. So which is connected to the kidney. So that is known as renal pyramids. Here, the renal corpuscle or the renal tubule, the words are related to kidney. These are the parts of nephrons. Renal corpuscle is otherwise known as Malpighian corpuscle. It is named after the scientist Malpighian. To honor the scientist, they named Malpighian corpuscle. The renal corpuscle consists of a cup-shaped structure called Bowman's capsule containing a bunch of capillaries called glomerulus. Blood enters the glomerular capillaries through afferent arterioles. Afferent arterioles brings in blood and the blood leaves out through efferent arterioles. The Bowman's capsule continues as a renal tubule which consists of three regions: the proximal convoluted tubule, U-shaped hairpin loop, the distal convoluted tubule. The U-shaped hairpin loop is known as a loop of Henle. Again, to honor the scientist Henle, they named loop of Henle. The distal convoluted tubule opens into the collecting tubule. Now we'll see the mechanism of urine formation. The process of urine formation includes glomerular filtration, tubular reabsorption, and tubular secretion. Urine formation begins with the filtration of blood through the epithelial walls of the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. The filtrate is called the glomerular filtrate. Both essential and non-essential substances present in the blood are filtered. That means the essential substances also filtered by this Bowman's capsule, so which should be reabsorbed by the body. That takes place in the tubular, in the proximal and the distal convoluted tubules. That is the second part, the tubular reabsorption. The filtrate in the proximal tubule consists of essential substances such as glucose, amino acids, vitamins, sodium, potassium, bicarbonates and water that are reabsorbed into the blood by the process of selective reabsorption. Then tubular secretion. Substances such as hydrogen ions and potassium ions are secreted into the tubule. This tubular filtrate is finally known as urine, which is hypertonic in man. Finally, the urine passes into the collecting ducts to the pelvis and through the ureter into the urinary bladder. When the urinary bladder is full, the urine is expelled out through the urethra. This process is called micturition. A healthy person excretes 1 to 2 liters of urine per day. The duplicated ureter may be seen in some of the human beings, which becomes usual. It is not at all a disease. The malfunction of kidneys leads to the unhealthy kidneys. 2 healthy kidneys contain a total of about 2 million nephrons, which filter about 1700 to 1800 liters of blood per day. The kidneys reabsorb and redistribute 99% of the blood volume, and only 1% of the blood filtered becomes urine. If the kidney fails to excrete urine, then the person needs dialysis. When kidneys lose their filtering efficiency, excessive amount of fluid and toxic waste accumulates in the body. This condition is known as kidney failure. For this, an artificial kidney is used to filter the blood of the patient. The patient is said to be put on dialysis, and the process of purifying blood by an artificial kidney is called hemodialysis. When renal failure can't be treated by drug or dialysis, drug means here medicine. Treated by drug or dialysis, the patients are advised for kidney transplantation. The first kidney transplantation is done in 1954 by Joseph E. Murray and his colleagues at Peter Bent Brigham Hospital in Boston, USA. Thank you, children.